Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, March 9, 2023. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's college basketball, NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball spring training games. Look ahead to today's games in each sport. Then we'll do soccer, WBC, golf, my latest mock bracket. We also have reality TV to get into, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start in college basketball because this is March. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to everything going on today. And today's a much bigger window than yesterday. A10 second round, Davidson over St. Bonaventure, 65-54. ACC second round, Wake over Syracuse, 77-74. Mountain West first round, Colorado State over Fresno State, 67-65. George Mason second round, A10 second round, George Mason over Richmond, 62-57. ACC second round, Pitt over Georgia Tech, 89-81. SWAC quarterfinal, Grambling over Bethune, 87-72. Pac-12 first round, Colorado over Washington, 74-68. Big East first round, St. John's over Butler, 76-63. Mountain West first round, UNLV over Air Force, 78-70 in overtime. Southland final, A&M Corpus Christi over Northwestern State, 75-71. A10 second round, St. Joe's over George Washington, 87-76. Pac-12 first round, Wazoo over Cal, 69-52. Big East first round, DePaul over St. Hall, 66-65. That game ended in a lot of controversy. MEAC quarterfinal, Howard over SC State, 91-55. CUSA first round, Western Kentucky over Utah, 73-67. Big Ten first round, Ohio State over Wisconsin, 65-57. SEC first round, Ole Miss over South Carolina, 67-61. MAC quarterfinal, Iona over Mount St. Mary, 74-54. Big 12 first round, West Virginia over Texas Tech, 78-62. ACC second round, North Carolina over Boston College, 85-61. Mountain West first round, New Mexico over Wyoming, 87-76. Patriot League final, Colgate over Lafayette, 79-61. A10 second round, LaSalle over Duquesne, 81-70. Big East first round, Villanova over Georgetown, 80-48. MEAC quarterfinal, NC Central over Delaware State, 89-59. SEC first round, LSU over Georgia, 72-67. CUSA first round, Louisiana Tech over FIU, 81-76 in overtime. Big Ten first round, Minnesota over Nebraska, 78-75. Pac-12 first round, Stanford over Utah, 73-62. SWAC quarterfinal, Texas Southern over Alcorn State, 66-62. CUSA first round, Rice over UTSA, 72-71. Metro Atlantic quarterfinal, St. Peter's over Rider, 70-62. So St. Peter's in the semis. Big 12 first round, Oklahoma State over Oklahoma, 57-49. ACC second round, NC State over Virginia Tech, 97-77. Big Sky final, Montana State over Northern Arizona, 85-78. And Pac-12 first round, Arizona State over Oregon State, 63-57. Big window today. Getting underway in about a half an hour. MAC quarterfinal, Miami of Ohio, Toledo. I project Toledo 18, total 154 and 3/20. And we have here Toledo 13.5, total 153.5. I'll gladly lay it with Toledo. 11:30, A10 quarterfinal, Davidson VCU from Barclays. My line's VCU 9.7, total 136 and 3/10. It's 7.5 and 133.5. Over. 12 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, St. John's at number 6, Marquette, Big East quarterfinal. My line is Marquette 7.8, total 152 and 3/5. And it's 8.5 and 160.5. I'll take the under. ESPN 2, ACC quarterfinal, Wake Forest at number 14, Miami. My line's Miami 9.2, total 150 and 19/20. And we have 7.5 and 156.5. We'll gladly take the under there too. Big Ten Network, Rutgers, Michigan. My line is Michigan 1.5, total 136. And it is 2.5 and 132.5. We'll take the over. 12:30 ESPN, Iowa State at number 10, Baylor. My line is Baylor by 7, total 139. This is a Big 12 quarterfinal. It's 4.5 and 135.5. So the pick's the over. AAC first round, 12:30 ESPNU, East Carolina, South Florida. My line is South Florida 0.7 total 142 and 17-28, so it's 2.5 and 141.5. Slight lean to East Carolina. Maybe they win outright, or maybe they win by 1. 1 o'clock, SEC Network, SEC second round, Mississippi State, Florida. Must win for Miss State. My line is Miss State 0.8, total 133 3/4. And we have 5.5 and 130.5. I'm going to take Florida plus the points to cover. Ohio Ball State MAC quarterfinal. My line is Ball State 2.3, total 149 and 3/20, and I'll pick them in 149.5. Ball State money line minus 110. A10 quarterfinal, 2:30 USA, or 2 o'clock. George Mason, St. Louis. My line is St. Louis 1.7, total 141 and 3/20, and it's 5.5 and 140.5. I'll take George Mason getting the points. 2:30 Fox Sports 1, Big East quarterfinal. Providence at number 11 UConn. My line's UConn by 3, total 146 and 4/5, and it's 6.5 and 143.5. I'll take. I'm going to take Providence plus the 6.5 to cover. 2:30 ESPN 2, ACC quarterfinal. Pitt at number 21 Duke. My line is Duke 6.5, total 140 and 4/5, and it's 5.5 and 135.5, or 138.5. I'll take the over. I have to give ESPN credit. They did not give favoritism to the ACC this year. The Big 12 is rightfully on ESPN this year, and because of the ACC being so weak, they got demoted to ESPN 2, at least for the quarterfinals. ESPNU, AAC first round, SMU, UCF. My line's UCF by 6, total 141 and 3/4. And we have 7.5 and 137.5. I'm going to take the over. Big Ten, second round, Big Ten Network, Ohio State, Iowa. My line's Iowa 4.5, total 148 and 9/20, and we have 4.5 and 153.5 under. 3 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Colorado at number 2 UCLA, Pac-12 quarterfinal. My line is UCLA 14.3, total 135 and 7/20, and it's 8.5 and 132.5. I'm going to lay the points with UCLA. ESPN, West Virginia at number 3, Kansas, Big 12 quarterfinal. My line's Kansas 9.3, total 145 and 7/10, and it's 4.5 and 149.5. This is a hard one from a math standpoint to figure out. The pick is going to be Kansas minus the points, amazingly enough. That's low for arguably the best team in the sport. SEC Network, SEC second round, Ole Miss at number 17, Tennessee. My line is Tennessee 12.7, total 133 and 3/20. And we have 11.5 and 127.5. I'm over. Colorado State and number 20, San Diego State, CBS Sports Network. Mountain West quarterfinal. My line is San Diego State 12.7, total 140. And it's 9.5 and 136.5. For this one, I'm going to take the over. SWAC quarterfinal, Prairie View, Jackson State. I project to pick them in 138 and 1/5. And it's Prairie View 1.5, total 134.5. I'm going to take the over. Cal Baptist, Sam Houston, WAC quarterfinal. My line is Sam Houston 5.3, total 131.5. And we got 5.5 and 123.5 over. Bakersfield, Irvine. I guess that's a later game. We have Bakersfield, Irvine in here. That's weird. It's supposed to be Hawaii, Fullerton. I guess Bakersfield, Irvine's a different time, or did we skip that? Oh no, I found it. We're good. Big West quarterfinal. My line's Irvine 13, total 133 and a 20th, and we have 11.5 and 127.5. I'll take the over. Northern Illinois, Kent State, 4 o'clock. MAC quarterfinal. My line is Kent State 16.7 total 142 and 11/20. And it is 12.5 and 141.5. I'll lay the points with Kent State. 5 o'clock. WAC quarterfinal. Grand Canyon, Seattle. My line is Grand Canyon 4.3 total 139 and 11/20. And it's 2.5 and 135.5. We'll take the over. St. Joe's, Dayton, 5 o'clock, USA Network, A10 quarterfinal. My line is Dayton 10.8, total 137 3/4. And we got 10.5 and 134.5 over. San Jose State, Nevada, 5:30, CBS Sports Network, Mountain West quarterfinal. My line is Nevada, 5.7, total 135 and 4/5. And it's 4.5 and 129.5 over. Washington State, Oregon, Pac-12 quarterfinal, Pac-12 Network. My line is Oregon 2.8, total 136 and 2/5. And it's 2.5 and 133.5 over. Hawaii, Cal State, Fullerton, Big West quarterfinal. My line is Hawaii 5.3, total 131 and 9/20. And it's 1.5 and 126.5. I'm going to take the over. MEAC quarterfinal, 6 o'clock, Morgan State, Maryland Eastern. Shore, my line's UMass 0.3, total 140 and 7/20. And it's 5.5 and 138.5. That's a lot. Give me Morgan State plus the points. Western Kentucky, FAU, 6:30. It's USA quarterfinal. My line is FAU 8.8, total 143 and 1/4. And it's 10.5 and 140.5. I'll take the over. Big Ten Network, Big Ten second round, Penn State, Illinois. My line is Illinois by 7, total 149.10. And it's only 2.5 and 139.5. I'm laying the 2.5 with Illinois. Buffalo, Akron, MAC quarterfinal. My line is Akron 7.3, total 146 and 13/20. And it's 7.5 and 146.5. Very close, but the slight over. Wait. No. It's actually slight to Buffalo, believe it or not. Oklahoma State at number 7, Texas, ESPN2, Big 12 quarterfinal. My line is Texas by 6, total 141 and 9/20. And it is 6.5 and 142.5. Very close, slight unders the pick. ESPN North Carolina at number 13, Virginia, ACC quarterfinals. So the ACC goes to the mothership for Carolina, but not for Duke. That's because Virginia's involved too, so you got to give Virginia some love. But they have no respect for Pitt. That's what that tells you. And like West Virginia gets a little bit of favoritism because of Bob Huggins. Like that's what the networks tell. That's what the networks are telling you when it comes to picking the ACC or Big 12 to be on mothership. Virginia, I have 3.8, total 138 and 1/5. And it is 2.5 and 129.5. Surprised how low the line is. I'm going to take the over. DePaul, 15, Xavier, Fox Sports 1, Big East quarterfinal. My line, Xavier 16, total 152 and 3/20. And we have 12.5 and 152.5. I'm going to lay it with Xavier. Arkansas, Auburn, SEC second round, SEC Network. My line is Auburn 0.3, total 140 and 3/4. And it's Arkansas 3.5, total 143.5. Woo! Give me Auburn plus 3.5 and plus 126 to win. CUSA quarterfinal, Charlotte, Middle Tennessee. My line's Middle 2.5, total 134 and 3/10. And it's a pick 'em, essentially Middle Tennessee minus 0.5 and minus 118, total 126.5. But the pick's going to be the over. Tulsa, Wichita State, ESPNU, AAC first round. My line's Wichita 10.7, total 140 and 9/10. And 15.5 and 138.5. Whoo, give me Tulsa plus the points. That's a lot of points. Marist, Quinnipiac, Metro Atlanta quarterfinal. My line's Quinnipiac 9.8, total 136 and 13/20. And keep forgetting that Can't bet on these games in New Jersey. Quinnipiac 5.5 total, 136.5 is the line. I'm going to lay the points to Quinnipiac. LaSalle Fordham, 7:30 USA Network, 8:10 quarterfinal. My line's Fordham 9.3 total, 141 the quarter. And 6.5 and 140.5. I'm going to lay the 6.5 with Fordham. Coppin State, Norfolk State, 8 o'clock MEAC quarterfinal. My line is Norfolk 14.8 total, 150 and 13.20. And it's 10.5 and 150.5. I'm going to lay with Norfolk State. Pac-12 Network, Stanford at number 8, Arizona. Pac-12 quarterfinal. I have here Arizona 15.2 total, 146 and a fifth. And it's 9.5 and 153.5. Very close. I'm going to take the under. LSU Vandy, SEC Network, SEC second round. My line is Vandy by 4 total, 149.10. And we have 4.5 and 141.5. Very close, slight under. Louisiana Tech, North Texas, USA quarterfinal. My line's North Texas by 12 total, 131 and 3/10. And it's 8.5 and 117.5 over. UNLV, Boise State, CBS Sports Network, Mountain West quarterfinal. My line's Boise 4.7 total, 139. And it's 5.5 and 138.5. Slight lean to UNLV on home court. Big Ten second round, Minnesota, Maryland. Mine's 12.5. Or I'm sorry, 11.3 total, 131 and a tenth, and it's 12.5 and 132.5. Very close. So it's like 1.2 and 1.6. So I'm going to take a slight over. Tarleton, Utah Valley, WAC quarterfinal. My line's Utah Valley 9.7 total, 141. And it's 6.5 and 136.5 over. Cal Poly, Santa Barbara, Big West quarterfinal. My line Santa Barbara 20.8 total, 131 and 9.20. It's 10.5 and 123.5. I'm going to lay the points with UC Santa Barbara. Number 22 TCU, number 12 Kansas State. 9:30 ESPN2 Big 12 quarterfinal. My line is TCU 0.3 total, 144, and it is. I think TCU is going to be favored. Yes, 2.5 and 147.5. But the pick's the under. Villanova, number 24, Creighton, Fox Sports 1, Big East quarterfinal. My line's Creighton 3.2 to 149.10. And it's 4.5 and 134.5. Over's the pick. SWAC quarterfinal, Alabama A&M and Southern. My line is Southern 8.7 total, 140 and 3/10. And it's 3.5 and 134.5. Very close. So it's like 5.2 and 5.8. So I'm going to take the over in terms of differentials. So USA quarterfinal, Rice UAB. My line is UAB 8.7 total and 53 and a fifth. And it's 13.5 and 156.5. I'm going to take Rice getting the points. Metro Atlantic quarterfinal, Niagara, Siena. My line is Siena 3.5 total, 133 and a tenth. And we got here 2.5 and 125.5 over. NC State, Clemson, ESPN, ACC quarterfinal. My line is Clemson 0.8 total, 146.5, and it is. I'll pick them in 148.5, but a slight like Clemson by a half and minus 118. The pick's gonna be the under. And by the way, this game should be on ESPN2, and the other one should be on ESPN. So they screwed up on that one. The only Big 12 game that should be on ESPN2 is the Oklahoma State game, because Oklahoma State's not very good. And Virginia Carolina should be on ESPN because of the stakes, but it should be on the 2. And then, although I think there are bigger stakes in this game than the other one, so I understand why this game is on ESPN2. The Big 12 game. And the game that I just did is on regular ESPN. 11 o'clock, WAC quarterfinal, Utah Tech, Southern Utah. My Southern 8.7 to 151 and 4/5. and it's 4.5 and 151.5. I'm going to lay the points of Southern Utah. 11:30 Mountain West quarterfinal. CBS Sports Network, Mexico and Utah State. Mine's Utah State 1.3 to 151 and 2 fits. And it's 3.5 and 157.5 under. Arizona State, USC, 11:30 ESPN Pac-12 quarterfinal. Mine's USC 2.5 total 138 and 3/4. This could very well be a loser leaves town match, but I have both teams in the field right now. Spoiler alert. SC 3.5 total 138.5 is what it actually is, so slightly in Arizona State. And last but not least, Big West quarterfinal, UC Davis, UC Riverside. Millions Riverside 1.8 total 143 and 11/20, and it's 2.5 and 145.5. So the pick's going to be the slight under. All right, now I'll move on to the NBA. That was a long college basketball segment. Obviously, we'll go over yesterday's games and look ahead to a busy night tonight, or not so busy night in the association. Only 6 games tonight. Hawks over the Wizards 122-120. Celtics over the Blazers 115-93. Cavs over the Heat 104-100. Pelicans over the Mavs 113-106. Bulls over the Nuggets 117-96. Suns over the Thunder 132-101. Clippers over the Raptors 108-100. 5 games tonight, 7 o'clock. Hornets, Pistons. My line's Hornets by 3/4, total 229 and 19/20. And it is 4 and 225. So the question is, where do I go? I'm going to go with the over. And the line really should be Pistons by 3 3/4, but we're just not going to account for LaMelo's injury anymore, because actually Charlotte's playing a little better. Rockets, Pacers. My line is the Pacers 12 3/4, total 230 and 4 fits, and it's 9.5 and 236. To place the under. Jazz, Magic. My line is the Jazz by a half, total 229 and 7/10. And it is Magic by 3, total 234. I'm going to take the under. 7:30 TNT, Warriors, Grizzlies. My line is the Grizzlies by a half, total 231 and 11/20. And the Golden State Warriors are favored by 2.5, total 235.5. I'm going to take the under here, too. 8 o'clock, Nets, Bucks. My line is Bucks 15.5, total 226 and 17/20, and it's 12 and 232. I'll take another under there. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, TNT, Knicks, Kings. My line is the Kings by 3 3.25, total 233 and 3 fits. And it's 2.5 and 238.5 under. So 5 unders and an over. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll go over the games from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's games. Red Wings over the Blackhawks 4-3, so best bet lost. Wild over the Jets 4-2. Canucks over the Ducks 3-2 in OT. A lot of games tonight. 7 o'clock, Rangers, Canadiens. So Rangers after a layoff. We'll see how they look. They need to get back on the right page. They're minus 275, the Canucks. The Canadiens are plus 220 over under 6.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Rangers minus 1.5 is minus 111. Canadiens plus 1.5 is minus 108. I'm going Montreal puck line. I think the Rangers might come out flat. Maybe the Rangers win in overtime. So I'm going to say Habs plus 1.5 minus 108. Or the Habs can win outright. They're plus 220, but I'm not going to go there. Stars, Sabres. Stars minus 172. Sabres plus 142 over under 6.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Stars minus 1.5 is plus 155. Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 188. Tough one, but I like the over. Flyers, Canes. Canes minus 385, Flyers 3-1, over under 5.5, overs minus 142, unders plus 116. Flyers plus 1.5 is plus 122, Canes minus 1.5 is minus 146. Tough one, but I'm going to go with something potentially different. I'm going to go with first period result, Canes even money. Isles Pens. Pens minus 152, Isles plus 126, over under 5.5, overs minus 132, unders plus 108. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 205, Pens minus 1.5 is plus 168. Pens need the game badly. They're 1 point back of the Islanders in the standings. But I actually think this could have a tie. I think this goes overtime, so tie plus 340. Golden Knights Lightning, great game. Maybe the Stanley Cup Final preview. Lightning minus 178. Vegas plus 146, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 162. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 134. I like the over. Devils Caps. Devils minus 146, Caps plus 122, over under 6.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Devils minus 1.5 is plus 160. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 194. The return of Vitek Vanacek to DC for New Jersey, so that's like a fun subplot. I'm going to say Devils regulation plus 105. I'm going to go ballsy with this pick. 7:30 ESPN plus Hulu. Oilers Bruins, great game. Bruins minus 70. Oilers plus 140, over under 6.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Oilers plus 1.5 is minus 164. Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 136. For this one, I'm going to go with the Bees in regulation at minus 115. 8 o'clock, Sharks Blues. Blues minus 150, Sharks plus 125, over under 6.5. Overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 200. Blues minus 1.5 is plus 164. Go the over at minus 108. Preds Coyotes at 9. Preds minus 164, Coyotes plus 136, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Preds minus 1.5 is plus 146, Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 78. The Preds blew up their team. I'm going to take the Coyotes to win. Plus 136 is the underdog pick of the night. Kings Avs. Avs minus 166. Kings plus 138. Over under 6.5. Overs minus, or even money. Unders minus 122. Kings plus 1.5 is minus 76. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 146. For this one, I'm going to go with the Avs in regulation minus 110. And Sens Kraken at 10. Kraken minus 134, Sens plus 112, over under 6.5. Overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Sens plus 1.5 is minus 215. Kraken minus 1.5 is plus 176. I like the under in this game at minus 114, just something different. Spring training, we'll go over results from yesterday and look ahead to the spring training games being played today. Orioles over the Pirates 7-4. Cards over the Yankees 4-0. Tigers over the Nats 2-1. Twins over the Jays 7-0. Angels over the Rockies 4-2 or 4-3. D-backs over the Rangers 2-0. Reds over the Padres 10-9. Royals over the White Sox 14-5. Mariners Dodgers 2-2 tie. Today's games: 1 o'clock Red Sox Yankees, Tigers Pirates, Orioles Phils, Blue Jays Rays, Braves Blue Jays. 3 o'clock Reds Cubs, Dodgers A's, Brewers Giants, Padres Guardians. All right, soccer. We'll go over to soccer from yesterday. And we will look at everything going on today. So, Europa League round of 16 begins today. 12:45 Sporting and Arsenal. Arsenal's plus 110, Sporting's plus 280, draws plus 210. First leg begins today. So, this is a tough one. So, I'm going to go with Arsenal plus 110. Leverkusen and Ferencváros. Leverkusen's minus 410. Ferencváros is 8-1, draws plus 480. I'm going to go with Under 2.5 goals at plus 144. Union Berlin and Union SG. Berlin minus 160. SG's 5-1 draw plus 230. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 172. AS Roma and Real Sociedad. Roma plus 130. Real Sociedad plus 270. Draws plus 180. I'm going to go AS Roma at plus 130. 3 o'clock. Shakhtar and Feyenoord. Shakhtar plus 230, draw plus 230. Feyenoord plus 115. I'm going with Feyenoord plus 115. Juventus and Freiburg. Juventus minus 185. Freiburg 5-1, draw plus 280. This is a difficult one. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals plus 126. Man United and Betis. Man United 3-1. Betis 7-1. Draw plus 390. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals plus 130. Sevilla and Fenerbahce. Sevilla is minus 130. Fenerbahce is 340. Draw plus 240. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 108. Europa Conference League today, too. We had a game in there on Tuesday. AZ Alkmaar over Lazio 2-1. And then today, 12:45, AEK Larnaca and West Ham. West Ham's minus 155. Larnaca plus 460, draw plus 270. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 114. Anderlecht and Villarreal. Villarreal minus 120. Anderlecht plus 330. Draw plus 250. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at minus 102. Sheriff and Nice. Nice minus 130. Sheriff plus 440. Draw plus 230. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals plus 158. 3 o'clock FC, Basel, and Bratislava. Basel minus 130, Bratislava plus 360, draw plus 260. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals minus 108. Fiorentina and Sivasspor. Fiorentina minus 550, Sivasspor 12-1, draw plus 550. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals plus 134. KAA Ghent and Istanbul BB. Ghent plus 105. Back to Sears 3-1, draws plus 210. I'm going to go with Ghent at plus 105. And last but not least, Lech Poznan and Desjardins. Poznan's minus 120. Desjardins is plus 370, draw plus 240. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals at plus 126. All right, CONCACAF from yesterday, Leon over Toro FC 1-0. Olympia over Atlas 4-1. Vancouver over Real Espana 5-0. Tonight, 2 games. CD Montagua and Pachuca at 8. Just going to pull it up real quick. Pachuca's minus 135, CD's plus 350, draw plus 240. We'll go with the draw plus 240. And then we have Alajuelense and LAFC. LAFC's plus 140. Alajuelense plus 175, draw plus 220. I'm going with LAFC plus 140. I'm tempted to take the draw. because I took the Union on the road the other day. They didn't win. So I'm going to go with LAFC to win, but if the draw happens, the draw happens. Alrighty. WBC, we'll go over the games from yesterday and this morning. Look ahead to tonight and tomorrow morning. All right, yesterday, Australia over Korea 8-7, Netherlands over Panama 3-1, and then Panama over Chinese Taipei 12-5 was 2 nights ago. And then this morning, Japan over China 8-1, and Italy over Cuba 6-3 in 10 innings. All right, 10 o'clock tonight on Tubi, Pool B, Czech Republic and China. DraftKings has better odds for these than FanDuel. Alrighty. Let's see here. Chez is minus 115. China's minus 105 over under 8.5 minus 110 each way. Chez minus 1.5 is plus 140. China plus 1.5 is minus 65. I'm going Chez at minus 115. And then 11:30, Cuba and Panama. I can't believe Cuba's over. They're favored here, minus 145. Panama's plus 135 over under 8. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Cuba minus 1.5 is plus 135. Panama plus 1.5 is minus 155. Big game for Cuba. They need it. I'm going to go with the over. And then tomorrow morning, 2 games. Korea, Japan, Pool B. Japan minus 410. South Korea plus 330 over under 7.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. South Korea plus 1.5 is plus 160. Japan minus 1.5 is minus 190. I'm going to go over 7.5 at minus 115. And in Italy and Chinese Taipei, I expect Italy to win that one, but the lines are not up yet. Although Chinese Taipei winning would not stun me. All right, now we'll go over the early leaderboard for the Players' Championship. Your leader right now with a score of 5 under, there's a tie actually. Taylor Pendrith and Min-Woo Lee. Third with 4 under is Chad Ramey, tied for 4th with 3 under. Hayden Buckley, Christian Zeden, Howard Sago Kim, Patrick Cantlay, Colin Morikawa, Brett Horschel, Alex Badley. Tied for 11th with 2 under. Taylor Montgomery, Dylan McCarthy, Keith Mitchell, Cam Davis, Byung Ganon, John Rahm, Justin Rose. Tied for 18th with 1 under. Davis Thompson, Kevin Strowman, Callum Tarrant, Adam Svensson, Nate Lashley, Adam Hadwin, Nate Hardy, Ben Martin. Tied for 26th at even. We're just going to go through notables now. Austin Smotherman, Danny Willett, Kevin Kisner, Tony Finau. That was my pick. Trey Mullinax, Adam Scott, Scotty Scheffler, Max Hubbard, Trey Merritt. Tied for 36th with 1 over. Tyler Duncan, Joel Donovan, Corey Connors, Tyrell Hatton, Brendan Todd. Peter Malnati, Dylan Lingmerth, Eric Cole. Tied for 146 with 2, or 46 with 2 over. Matt Neesmith, Adam Long, Tommy Fleetwood, Webb Simpson, Nate Taylor, Rory McIlroy, J.J. Spawn, Luke List, Sunjay Im, Ryan Henley, Mackenzie Hughes, Matt Wallace, Grayson Teague, Emiliano Grillo, Kelly Craft, Harrison Endicott. Tied for 64th with 3 over. Robbie Shelton, Ricky Fowler, Robert Streb, Hideki Matsuyama, Nicholas Echeverria, Brian Harmon, Jonathan Vegas. 71st with 4 over is Harry English. 72nd with 5 over is Doug Gim. All right, I have another mock bracket for today. I made a couple of changes from yesterday. I'll do the same drill as I did yesterday. My number 1 overall seed in the South region, the Houston Cougars. My number 2 overall seed, 1 seed in the West region, the UCLA Bruins. Number 3 overall seed in the Midwest region, the Kansas Jayhawks. Number 4 overall seed, 1 seed in the East region, the Alabama Crimson Tide. 2 seeds, Midwest Purdue, South Texas, East Marquette, West Kansas State. 3 seeds, Midwest Yukon, South Virginia, East Baylor, West Gonzaga. 4 seeds, East Arizona, South Indiana, West San Diego State, Midwest Xavier. 5 seeds, East Miami, West TCU, South Creighton, Midwest Iowa. 6 seeds, West Michigan, Midwest St. Mary's, East Tennessee, South Illinois. 7 seeds, East Duke, West Maryland, Midwest Iowa State, South Texas A&M. 8 seeds, West Northwestern, South Missouri, East Boise State, Midwest Kentucky. 9 seeds, West FAU, East Providence, South Pitt, Midwest USC. 10 seeds, East West Virginia, West NC State, Midwest Auburn, South Memphis. 11 seeds, East Utah State, South Arkansas, West playing game, Mississippi State, Penn State, Midwest playing game, Rutgers, and Arizona State. So I knocked Wisconsin out for Arizona State. That could change tonight with a couple of results. 12 seeds, East Charleston, South VCU, West Toledo, and then Midwest Oral Roberts. But I have Oral Roberts as my top auto bid. I don't know why I listed them out of order. For the 12s. 13s, West Louisiana, South Drake, East Iona, Midwest Furman. 14 seeds, South UNC Asheville, West UC Santa Barbara, East Princeton, Midwest Utah Valley. 15 seeds, South Kennesaw State, East Colgate, Midwest Montana State, West Vermont. 16 seeds, Midwest Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, West Northern Kentucky, East play-in, Southeast Missouri State, Grambling, and South play-in, NC Central, and Fairleigh Dickinson. All right, now we'll recap last night's episode of The Masked Singer. It was really fun. The theme was DC Superheroes Night, and the opening was the panel on stage performing I Need a Hero in costumes, and Nicole sang. 3 contestants. First up, Gargoyle. He said he was stuck on a sideline. There's a jukebox that said I Love LA. There was a video game remote. There was a gate. There was hot sauce. There was fire. Passed on to pass 2. There was a credit card that was brown and had 3 S's on it. And this person performed One Call Away by Charlie Puth. The celebrity clue, rock solid, record maker, making waves on the field and making history. My guess for this, the first person I thought about, I feel pretty good about this guess, Odell Beckham Jr., former Giants wide receiver, former Browns receiver, former Rams receiver. So I Love LA. He played on the Rams. The credit card that it was brown. He played for the Browns. There were 3 S's on it. 3 S's, 3 teams: Giants, Browns, and Rams. He made history as a rookie with the Giants, so this makes a lot of sense. Robinson, Antonio Gates, Ken with the awful guess of the weekend, and Jenny said Odell Beckham Jr. Wolf. There are mountains. There's a picture of Andy Garcia. There's a saxophone, a seal mask. Maybe there's a tie. Or it wasn't a seal mask. It was the mask of the costume that Seal wore on The Masked Singer. I forget what he was like some jaguar or something. Whatever the mask of what Seal's costume was on The Masked Singer. That's why I have down Seal mask. Clock. There's a picture of Nick Cannon that says hero. There's a boat. And there is a tape that said Wolf on it. And then he said his ties to Lady Gaga, Jay-Z, and Andy Samberg. And then he closes it with saying Power of Love. He performed Break On Through by The Doors. It was okay. Celebrity Clue said Timberlake. And he said he collaborated with JT. The Squirrel. Squirrel said that she got into a little bit of a mess. There's a gorilla, fruit, meatballs, a smile pin, a skater. Said he made out with Tom Cruise. I should say. And And she's from Try by Pink. The celebrity clue, there's a picture, a hero time, how much she put into her work, and it was worth it all in the end. My guess for this right now is Kelly McGillis. She is in Top Gun with Tom Cruise, so that's what made me think of Kelly McGillis, and they made out in the movie. Jenny said Naomi Watts and Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes makes sense. Ken went with he threw out Michelle Monaghan and Renee Zellweger, but Hilton went with Margot Robbie. And Robin said Uma Thurman. First to go was Wolf. My first thought guess was Robert De Niro, but my final guess ended up being Chris Cross. As in Christopher Cross. Robin, Nicole, and Jenny all went with Michael Bolton. Ken said Richard Marx, and it was Michael Bolton. Not surprised. He collaborated with JT. His voice was really obvious. And then he closed out by singing his song, How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? Battle Royale was Gargoyle versus Skrull. The song was Kryptonite by Three Doors Down. Gargoyle went first, Skrull went second. It was a hard call. I don't think either of these contestants were as good as Medusa or even the California Roll. But Skrull moves on, and Gargoyle, so my guess was Odell Beckham Jr., Robinson, Antonio Gates. Jenny said Odell Beckham Jr., Ken said The Weeknd, Nicole said Mario, and what happened? Jenny rang the bell. I think they deserve to save Gargoyle. I thought he was a little bit better than Squirrel. But like I said, I don't think either of these are as good as Medusa or even the California Roll. So for the second week in a row, the save bell had been rung. All right, Survivor. We'll talk about the episode from last night. It was really good. The show opens with post-tribal council and the Ratu tribe discussing what went down. And then before immunity reward, they showed the Soka and Tika tribes unlocking the bird mail, quote unquote. But to Danny and Carolyn's credit, who opened them respectively, kept it a secret, which obviously both players now have idols. And the Tika tribe was very suspicious because they walked by the cage and saw it moving. So they must have realized that somebody was in there, and they were blaming a bunch of people. Like they thought maybe Helen or Sarah went in there because of how they were acting afterward. But little did I know that it's Carolyn that did that. So immunity reward challenge, as the tribe members raced over a wooden obstacle before untying sandbags searching for a ball. Once found, one tribe member scaled up a tower to release the rope, which remaining members pulled to raise a bridge so the person could cross and open for the rest of the tribe. Afterwards, the tribes raced to the finish, where one member used the ball to complete a vertical snake maze. The first two tribes won immunity, along with large and small fishing gear rewards respectively, and the losing tribe had to forfeit their flint and go to tribal council. So the Ratu tribe won this one, so a good bounce back for the Ratu tribe after losing last week. They had to come from behind win. And coming in second was the Soka tribe, who has been really good and stayed together through the first two episodes. So we see the Tika tribe go to tribal. Jeff was asking them questions, and I think Jeff was trying to make whoever had the idol put the pressure on a little bit by the way he was talking and asking questions. So he just assumed that somebody found the idol. So the vote goes. Sarah did not have a vote because she lost her vote attempting to gain advantage, which she does, obviously, because then she has the advantage where you could take away an idol or any advantage. So she had to sacrifice a vote for that. So the votes are read out. Carolyn, Helen, and the third person voted off of Survivor 44 was indeed Helen. So Carolyn does not play her idol. She was safe. Carolyn, Carson, and Yum Yum all voted for Helen, and Helen voted for Carolyn. I thought Carolyn was going home because I thought maybe they were going to catch her lying about the idol. But ultimately, maybe they thought that about Helen because of, she was, touching her body a little bit, and Yum Yum was suspicious about it. But Yum Yum was also suspicious of Sarah as well. All right, superlatives. Best move of the episode, to me, has to be Carolyn saving her idol. Yes, she got a vote. But, good on her for saving her idol. And she gained the trust of her tribe mates. The worst move of the episode, I don't want to say Helen not playing her shot in the dark because she didn't consider it. I think she was surprised to be voted off. They absolutely blindsided her. So that would make sense. So I'm not going to say that. But the worst move of the episode, maybe Franny and Matt. I love stories, but maybe their relationship brewing and forming a relationship alliance of their own, but you never know, that could end up working out. But worst move of the episode, that's a good one. You know what, I'm going to say Helen touching her body after the returning to the camp after noticing that the somebody touched the bird male. So that's what I think ultimately did her in. And also Helen taking charge, which that combined with her touching her body, getting Yum Yum suspicious about her having that idol. So that's going to be my worst move. Favorite part of the episode, I think it's cute seeing people fall in love. But I'm going to say that the relationship forming between Matt and Franny, I think is very cute. I didn't really have a least favorite part of the episode because there wasn't a Bruce situation, again, which is good. Because we want everybody to be healthy and safe. Which I'm glad that Bruce ended up being safe and healthy after his whole incident. Winner pick, I'm sticking with Sarah. She has the potential to move an idol and stuff, but I think she's going to wait. She's flying very under the radar. I really like Sarah. I do like Danny too, but I think ultimately what could go back to bite Danny is the fact that he has that idol, and maybe somebody goes to that birdcage and notices the idol or whatever was in there was missing. So I'm going to say Sarah still. Next to go home, I'm going to say Matt. I think maybe I cheated a little bit into falling for the next episode preview. But I think someone on Ahsoka's due to go home. I wouldn't rule out Claire. I wouldn't rule out Franny. But I'm going to say it's Matt because he lied about the no vote thing. He has... he cannot vote for 2 tribal councils. Although he did end up telling Franny the truth about it. So I'm going to say that Matt goes home on next week's episode. All right, news and notes. I'm going to try to be very quick with news and notes today. There's a lot of big stories, but the biggest one is that Jim Boeheim retires as he announced his decision to retire after 47 years coaching at Syracuse. Jim Boeheim, phenomenal career. 2003 national title winner with Carmelo Anthony. Last few years haven't been great for Syracuse. I know they've made a couple of unexpected runs. They've been prone to be getting upset in the tournament too over the last few years. But now the question is, where does Syracuse go for its next head coach? I think this is a program that's going to be completely in a rebuild. I mean, could this be Louisville bad next year? I don't think it'll be Louisville bad, but it might be maybe a little bit better than Louisville. Mark Adams out at Texas Tech as he steps down following the suspension for racially insensitive comment to a player. We'll see who lands there. I don't think Chris Beard will go back there. Chris Beard's the front runner for Ole Miss, apparently. We'll see if he, if that turns out to be true. There's a very special moment in the Colgate game as the father of Colgate's Tucker Richardson was in tears as his son checked out of the title game with a triple-double. That's moments like that are awesome. Nick Saban downplays Bryce Young's size. He says he's a better bet than a 6'4", 225-pound guy that can throw accurately. Nick signed Moses Brown to a 2-way contract. Police will not charge John Morant with a crime due to lack of available evidence and related to gun video. All right, so we get some clarity on that. I still think that Josh should be away from the team for a little bit. This is still a distraction, but he's not going to get charges. Draymond Green hops on his podcast to respond to Dylan Brooks' comments from the recent ESPN story. So, that's not great. You can't mess with Draymond. Fred VanVleet goes off on the refs as he said he'll take a fine, then unloaded. The Jets are confident in a Rodgers deal as New York's brass believes they are poised to get Rodgers after the West Coast meeting. The Jets to acquire Chuck Clark from the Ravens for a late-round draft pick compensation. Steven Adams out 4 more weeks as he'll miss the rest of the regular season after getting stem cell injection. Jesus. And here the Grizzlies are pointing to, Steven Adams is hurt for why they've fallen apart. No, you guys fell apart because you guys are frauds. And John Morant has been going through shit. So, yeah. Kevin Durant missed what was supposed to be his son's home debut with ankle soreness after slipping during warm-ups. He has a left ankle sprain will undergo testing on Thursday to determine the severity of the injury. Zion out at least 2 more weeks due to the hamstring injury. They should just sit him for the rest of the year and tank. Yusuf Nurkic back last night against the Celtics after being out since February 1st with a calf strain. Lonzo Ball may need a 3rd surgery. There's a growing possibility Ball needs another knee surgery that would add 6 months to his rehab. Oh my goodness. Should he just retire already? DeAndre Hopkins ignoring trade rumors, as he said on the Pat McAfee show that he's focused on the present amid trade rumors this offseason. 3 teams eyeing Jimmy Garoppolo. Raiders, Panthers, and Texans are likely interested, as it seems to think that Rodgers is going to the Jets. So that's it for news and notes. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. This is a tough one. There's a lot of them I actually liked, but one jumped out to me in college basketball. And I'm going to lay a half unit on it. That's how good I feel about it. Over 117.5 in Louisiana Tech, North Texas. I'm going to lay a half unit on it. -110 over 117.5. So that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything looking ahead to tomorrow too. Have a great day, everyone.